Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For my first Halloween tutorial, I'm going to be doing a scar makeup tutorial. And to prep my skin, I use the acne.org moisturizer and the Mineral primer. And I mix my foundation and this Temp 2 bronzer and dot it all over my face. I wanted my skin to be a little darker just so my scar could stand out. But I ended up moving to my brows, and I'm going to be taking a spoolie and some coconut water and a bar of soap that's clear, and just flatten out my brows. But these brows can't be tamed, so I had to put a piece of tape over them so that way you wouldn't see my brow hairs peeking through. And I'm going to be taking my Lorac Mega Pro 2 palette and this Wet n Wild Illuminati to prime my lids. And just blend that out with a sponge. And I'm going to go in with the shade Porcelain and just set that down. And I'm going to go in with my blush. This is a Wet n Wild blush in Apricot in the middle, just to give me that nice warm shade. It has a little sparkle to it, so it's kind of like my brow bone highlight, but scar didn't really have a highlight. So I'm going to go in with Melon and Tangerine and the same blending brush and just blend that in my crease and really drag it upwards, like really blend it up, just so I have that nice gradient effect. And then I'm gonna go put my tape on because I forgot to put my tape. Don't forget to put tape if you want that nice sharp line. And then I'm gonna go in with Burlap. It's just kind of like a brown pukey color, and I'm gonna put that in my crease and just really blend it out and blend it upward. And this is sped up, obviously. I don't blend this fast, but you just want to make sure it's really blended. Just go back in with the blending brush, and then I'm gonna go in with this Three's Company. I got it in my BoxyCharm in that brown shade, and just don't blend it as far up. I want to keep this more tighter in my crease, and then go back in and blend it out with that fluffy brush. And then I'm going to take Saddle and a smaller blending brush and put this directly in my crease, and don't blend it as upward. I'm just using windshield wiper motions, and then I'm going back in with that fluffy brush and blending everything out, and going back in with more Burlap, blending it out, and just darkening it up. And then I'm going to take a flat concealer brush and that same concealer I used to prime my lids, and just kind of like cut my crease a little bit. Fix my mistake. And then I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette and put the crease shade, the dark brown crease shade in the outer corner, and then put that rose gold shade in the inner part of my eye. And then I'm going to go on with my Kat Von D liner, tattoo liner in Trooper, and do my wing. Having the tape there really helps you do your do your wing. Sorry if you can't see me like doing my wing. It's really hard to film while you do wing eyeliner, but I'll get better. I'm just gonna finish filling it in, connect it, and then take off the tape. Actually, I fixed this other side because it wasn't really even. And take off the tape, and that's how you get that nice sharp line. And then I'm going to put on some false eyelashes. I'm going to use the Brush On Lash Adhesive. And I also did my brows with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. And using that same concoction with the Milani Conceal and Perfect and my Temp 2 bronzer, I'm just going to dot that all over my face and blend it out with the Beauty Blender. I'm going to take just the bronzer and put it underneath my jawline and on my neck, just so my face matches my neck, because I made my foundation way tanner by adding those bronzer drops. And I'm going to put it underneath my cheekbone, my nose, and my forehead, just to make me look even more tanner. And then I'm going to take this Hikari eyeliner and line my waterline and tight line. And then I'm going to take this black in the Lorac palette and a flat liner brush and just set that. And then I'm going to take my Laura Mercier setting powder and just set my face. And I'm going to take Tawny and Burlap and run that underneath my lower lash line just to really smoke it out. And then I'm going to take Three's Company Trio and that same brown shade I used in my crease and run that underneath there as well. And then I'm going to touch up my eyeliner and darken it up, because doing that kind of like faded it. So I want to make sure it's as black as possible. And now I'm going to do the inner point. I don't know what this is called, but it's very difficult, and I'm sorry if you can't see it as well. But basically I just draw a line. My eyes are really close set together, so it's kind of difficult for me to do this, but I did it as best as I could. And I just kind of draw like a little triangle and then connect it. And I made a mistake, so I'm just fixing it. And yeah, I didn't do the other eye because you couldn't even see what I was doing because the mirror covered it up. But I'm just going over my lash band again and attempting to do the other eye, but you couldn't see. And then I'm taking this, what is this? Wet n Wild contour palette in caramel toffee and really bronzing up my skin and warming it up just so I'm super, super bronze. And I also do my ears too because you don't want to have a bronze face and white ears. I'm going to take this Wet n Wild Apricot in the Middle blush and just apply that on my cheeks for a nice flesh tone color. And then I'm going to take Essence contour powder and take that highlight shade and highlight my cheekbones and go kind of in a C shape because I still have to glow. Even though I'm scar, I'm still going to glow, baby. And then I'm going to take that same concealer and go over my eyebrow where the tape was and then draw like a triangle shape on top. It's going to be really messy at first, but I'm just trying to get the kind of outline of it. And then I'm going to go in with Tawny and a flat concealer brush and kind of like edge it up, like fix the mistakes and sharpen it. And here I'm going to go with my Duo Lash Adhesive because the tape was kind of coming up. It wasn't sticking. So I'm just going to put that underneath the tape and stick it down with the brush so it's not lifted up and so it's nice and flat to my skin. And then I'm going to go underneath my eye and do the scar underneath. But I'm touching up some more because it was kind of crooked. You know, you don't want to have a crooked scar. Alright, so then I'm going to go and blend it out with a fluffy brush. This has nothing on it. And just kind of blend out the edge of where I was doing the cleaning up. And then I'm going to go in a triangle shape underneath my eye, and I messed up, so I'm going to take a little Q-tip. It's always good to have Q-tips on hand so you can fix your mistakes. And then I'm just going to fill in the triangle and do the same thing on top. I'm going to edge it up with the same Tawny and the flat concealer brush so it's nice and sharp. And I'm going to go in with Custard and a clean fluffy blending brush and just blend out those edges even farther. And now I'm going to line my lips with that same Hikari lip. And it's not a lip liner. It's a eyeliner, but I used it on my lips because I can. And then I'm going to go in with Cherry Bomb to fill it in. It's not black because I don't have a black lipstick. So it's just a nice cranberry color, and I just go over that with the eyeliner just so I won't have to fill in the whole thing with it. And then I'm going to take that black eyeshadow. Actually, I'm going to clean up my edges with a Q-tip. And then I'm going to go in with black eyeshadow and set it in just to darken it up so it's nice and opaque. And then taking Tawny and a fluffy brush and just running this over my nose so it's kind of tanner than what it was. And then going over it with the Hikari liner just to have an outline of the nose. And I'm kind of making it make a point in the center and then outlining around my nose. And then I'm just going to fill it in and then do the same thing I did with my lips and take a black eyeshadow and a dome brush and just set that so it doesn't move anywhere. And then taking the Kat Von D liner and Trooper and then doing a straight line from my nose to connect to my lip. And then blending out the edges of my scar again. Here's where I have a massive fail and try to set my scar. And it takes off some of it, so I just go back over it again with the concealer. Then taking the MAC Volumizer Mascara and applying that to my lower lashes and to my top lashes to blend my real lashes with my fake lashes. Now I'm going to move to hair. I have an in-depth tutorial for this hairstyle if you want to have an in-depth tutorial. And basically I'm just touching up my curls. I just wrap them around the barrel, hold it for a little bit, let them go. I just want really messy curly hair for this because I feel like it made me look more fierce and lioness just shaking it out and putting it on my little ears. These look more like cat ears, but we're just going to pretend they're lion ears. Now I'm going to move to my whiskers because I forgot this part. I'm just taking that flat concealer brush and I just wiped it off and taking that same concealer and just doing little strokes. It helps if you look at a picture for reference, and this is the final look. Hope you guys enjoyed my Halloween tutorial, and I will be back with more next year. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Love you.